The disturbing case of Dylan Redwine. In this world, parents are the most trusted person to us. We can't even imagine our parents doing anything that might hurt us. They always try to keep us safe. Most parents wouldn't hesitate to give their life before they let anything bad happen to their children. And there are others who are so cruel and twisted that they will even go as far as to kill their own children for their own evil benefit. Dylan Redwine's abduction and murder is exactly the type of case we're investigating today, and why his killers haven't been caught after 9 years. As a 13-year-old boy, Dylan Redwine vanished from his father's home in Plata County, Colorado. On November 18, 2012, Dylan went to visit his dad. The duo was seen on camera shopping at Walmart and then McDonald's, according to the surveillance footage. When Dylan's last phone call was made at around 9:30 that night, he texted several of his pals that he was going to see them the next day. After that, he was never heard from or seen alive again. It's no secret that Colorado has a reputation for being a murder hotspot in the United States, since it's the site of some of the most renowned killings and unresolved cases. Gannon Stoke, the Watts family, and the Ramseys are all part of this. Hence, when Dylan went missing, it became a major deal very fast. But it has been almost 10 years since Dylan went missing, and the case has yet to be resolved. His parents, Mark Redwine and Elaine Hartfield, had an ugly divorce in 2007, during which Mark was given visiting privileges. Dylan freely said in court that he felt uncomfortable with his father and didn't want to see him. According to Elaine, Mark had a strong temper and a short fuse that made his own children scared of him. Due to the fact that Plata County is covered in mountains and rivers, several bloodhounds were sent out to try if they could locate Dylan in the wilderness. But after 2 days of looking, they were unable to find Dylan. 2 days may not seem like a long time, but when you're a little boy alone in the woods in the fall, it is. Cadaver dogs are used by the investigators to smell out human remains. Dylan wasn't found until June of the following year, even with the aid of the cadaver dogs. Elaine was convinced from the start that her ex-husband had something to do with Dylan's disappearance, and she was right. The belief that Mark had anything to do with Dylan's disappearance was not limited to Elaine. Corey, the elder brother of Dylan, also believes the same as his mother. But the reason he told was very disturbing. In the words of Corey and Dylan, they'd both seen embarrassing pictures of their father. Dylan uncovered photographs of his father wearing earrings, women's clothing and cosmetics, and a diaper, and then eating his excrement from the diaper. Corey thinks that when Dylan showed these pictures to his father, a quick temper would have most likely led to a violent outburst from Mark. Mark's ex-wives, Betsy Hubbard, also believed that Mark was guilty. Prior to giving her the children after divorce, Mark also threatened her about killing their children. There was a major break in the case in June 2013. Since Dylan's disappearance, investigators have been using cadaver dogs to assist them. The dogs were sent to the Vallecito Reservoir near Mark's house because the region he disappeared from was so wide. As a result of this, investigators were directed to the Middle Mountain, then to the side of an ATV route that was closed for the winter. Mark's house is a little over 10 miles distant from where they recovered human remains, and the body was none other than but Dylan's. Dylan's head was still gone, and there were cuts on his neck that showed he had been stabbed. Without his skull, officials were unable to determine the cause of death. Investigators focused on Mark to determine if he was involved in Dylan's death because there was nothing else on the corpse to suggest what had happened after Dylan was found. Mark didn't do himself any favors either, but the story took a new turn after the discovery of Dylan's skull. The forensic found the use of blunt force on the skull. Actually, this finding greatly helped the rest of the investigation and made Mark the #1 suspect. Police searched Mark's cabin and they discovered traces of blood on various parts of his cabin, like his floor, corner of couches, etc. They also found traces of blood on Mark's pickup truck and in the clothing he wore on the day of the incident. Mark was finally caught and charged with Dylan's murder in 2017, 4 years after Dylan went missing. Now, you might have a question. Why hasn't the matter been settled by now? Why is it taking so much time? They detained Mark almost 3 years ago, and there seems to be enough evidence against him. But there are a number of trials that were scheduled to begin in 2020 that have been put on hold because of the pandemic. One such trial was scheduled to begin in November 2020, but has been put on hold even longer after a judge declared a mistrial, which means that the trial is invalid in legal terms because of procedural mistakes. Unsurprisingly, Dylan's mother and brother are disappointed with a recent verdict in the case. Corey complained that Mark's attorneys are prolonging the trial so they may construct a stronger case. To this day, Mark has denied any role in Dylan's murder. If you come across a case that has been going on for this long time, it is certainly irritating. We hope that the verdict will come soon and Dylan will get justice. What do you think? Is Mark guilty or not? Let us know in the comment box. That's all for today. Hope you have enjoyed our video. For more interesting videos, please subscribe to our channel. Hope to see you in our next episodes. Till then, goodbye and take care.